Welcome to the Let's Go Brandon podcast. This is Ben Kerido coming to you from Jerusalem, Israel, and this episode is part of a series called Ramblings of a Reservist, referring to my service in the Israel Defense Force. The Ramblings of a Reservist series relates to all things connected with Israel, the Israeli military, Middle Eastern politics and military affairs, etc. There's a big story breaking here in Israel in the past few days that may or may not have gotten the proper attention in the West and in America. The Israeli Mossad, which is our secret service organization, they managed to successfully apprehend and interrogate a top-level Iranian terrorist inside of Iran. Not outside, inside of Iran. The Israeli Mossad managed to do this. The top-level Iranian terrorist, his name is Mansour Rasuli. He is part of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, and more specifically the Al-Quds Force, which is basically a state-sponsored terrorist organization that operates at the explicit direction of the Iranian government. And this is really a big story for multiple reasons. First and foremost, the fact that the Mossad has released this story to the media so quickly indicates that there's something more at play here, because normally the Mossad doesn't reveal their more secretive and clandestine operations. It means that the Israeli government and the Mossad are sending a message to Iran and the rest of the world. And that message is, don't mess with us, don't feel safe. And that's part of the reason they went to such great lengths to actually get inside of Iran to capture and apprehend and interrogate this guy, because the message that they're sending is even the most high-level Iranian official is not safe from the Israeli Mossad. In a lot of ways, it parallels the same message that the great President Donald J. Trump sent when he assassinated Soleimani without even having a second thought or blinking about it, which, as we all remember, Biden, Pelosi, and the rest of the Democrats complained about royally, which is pretty ridiculous that American government politicians and leaders would ever complain about the assassination of one of the worst terrorists in the world. At any rate, the message that Israel is sending with this action is that while Biden may have brought America to a place of weakness, especially with Iran, Israel is not going to go to the same place of weakness. We here in the modern Jewish state of Israel cannot afford to go to that place of weakness. America can't either, quite frankly, but that's a different matter. But again, one of the things that's so heinous about this, and also probably part of the reason that the Mossad and the Israeli government released the audio and released the news story to the press, is because Iran wasn't just targeting an Israeli or Jewish diplomat. They were also seeking to assassinate an American military general. Now, you need to understand the context. What is happening as we speak is that Iran is in a hardcore negotiation with the United States, namely Biden and Antony Blinken, in regards to their nuclear weapons program. But here's the thing. One of the demands that they have is that the IRGC and especially the Al-Quds Force be removed from the U.S. State Department's list of designated terrorist organizations. Meaning, while they're in the negotiation for that, and while Biden and Blinken are actively considering this, now I'm not sure what goes on in Biden's head, and so I don't know how much he actually is considering anything, but that's a different matter entirely. But regardless, what Biden and his colleagues are actually considering is removing the organization that is trying to kill and assassinate and murder American military generals in foreign countries. In this case, he's deployed in Germany at the moment. They want to remove them from the terrorist designation while they actively plan terrorist assassinations of our high-level American military personnel. That's just ridiculous. I mean, that's beyond ridiculous. That's just another element of the insanity that we are reaching under the disaster of the quote-unquote Brandon administration. I've got a lot more to say on this topic, but I got to keep it short to keep this in the context of a podcast mini. This is Ben Kerido coming to you from Jerusalem. Over and out, and see you next time. Hey everyone, this is Ben Kerido here to tell you about my brand new book that I wrote with my wife, Surat, called Let's Go Brandon the Novel. It's a satirical parody in the style of Orwell's 1984, The Babylon Bee, and Fauda. It's both a suspenseful and hilarious portrayal of current affairs in the American, Israeli, and Middle Eastern political arenas and military spheres, and includes some delightfully vicious yet comical mockery of Biden, AOC, and many others. For a limited time, the book is being made available for free or heavily discounted to our readers. Check it out on Amazon or visit our website, itowerpublishing.com. Links in the video description.